Pass it then. Pass it.
No, because that has a couple seconds
All
before
right,
it actually goes live. Now we're live.
Are you sure about that?
Now that the stream is- now
Well,
that the
also
stream
the
has started,
fucking...
I will
There we go.
continue-
Go, Meep. Go
Now
on
that
your
the stream
racist
has started-
tirade.
Now that the stream has started, I will continue my argument on why white people should say "nah."
Should say Nagoriyuki.
Please don't ban us, Twitch.
Come on, bit. Come on, Twitch. Ban us. I fucking dare you.
But how much does... Wait, no, I shouldn't make that joke. I was gonna say, but how much does one of our friends cost? But I'm like, that actually might get us banned too.
I don't even... I don't even know anymore.
And I feel like that's the perfect tagline for this fucking show.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking know anymore. We gotta talk about anime today or what? What's happening?
Yeah.
Wait, I need to change the goddamn stream title because Kill Streak is well truly dead.
Oh yeah. Unless.
Let me know when I'm safe to read us.
Fuck. Give me a title for this episode. I don't know.
Title for this episode, okay, fucking some bitches. There we go.
I'm just gonna title it Okay, with 2 Ks. There we go. Save. Alright, lead us the fuck in.
Welcome everyone to FMK Anime. I'm your host, Meep, joined by my co-hosts, Makan and Limis. Say hello, you two.
Hello. Something like that. I wouldn't say hello. I'm gonna say goodbye.
We still have another 3
know
episodes, you know.
Damn.
I don't know if we should let them know where they can find us or not. It might be a bad idea, but you can find me at Soul777 on Twitter, where you can see me voicing my opinions on various things, such as anime or Japanime. But don't follow me if you're a minor. If you're a minor and you follow me, I will kick you into the sun.
You can find me once again visiting Meep's mother's bedroom. But other than that, on Twitter at @_Viking. Yeah, don't come look for me. There's nothing of value there.
You can have her.
You know what? You could follow me at every player out in the internet at limis.card.co, but I'm not going to tell you to do that. Instead, I'm going to take a page out of McConn's book this morning, and I'm going to tell you, go follow Gorillas Daily, because monkey.
Yo, there's a Gorillas Daily. I'm following that right
Hell yeah. It's great.
Alrighty, and this is a show where each week we watch a list of anime, and at the end of the week we can cut one show. But we have 3 shows left right now. Let's see what happens. Let's just start with Aquatope of White Sand, episode 9.
Oh shit, I wasn't ready.
A girl from the new aquarium comes to Gama Gama to train, but butts heads with Kukuru and insults the director and staff by saying they are play working. She leaves the aquarium to train somewhere else, while Kukuru goes to the new aquarium, and at the end of the episode, Fuka gets a call from one of her idol colleagues. So, placing all bets, Kukuru's going to blow up the new aquarium. I got $500 on that.
I mean, it's not even finished yet, so it would just be a setback.
I really enjoyed this episode. Like, just seeing Kukuru and the other girl butt heads, and the way neither of them are in the right, and the show doesn't try and paint either of them in the right. Kukuru does definitely have a bad attitude towards the girl, but the girl is also being a massive cunt. So, it's... I really enjoyed this episode, just seeing everything and seeing how this aquarium is very low-key and relaxed. Like, seeing the director work. The director was trying to teach her something else. It's not always about the animals. when you make your guests feel at home and feel appreciated too, then they will want to come back more, even if they're not looking at the fish.
Limis, what did you think about the whole interaction between them and this new girl?
This is my least favorite episode of the show yet. I didn't like anything that was happening in this episode. And I don't know if it's just resentment setting in that the show has gotten so many episodes out of me, or what. I don't know. I found Fuka, or whatever blue hair girl's name is again. I need to get Mal open. I found her to be absolutely insufferable to watch this episode.
And I'm sitting in the camp of, I would describe this entire episode as anticlimactic.
It's like, I agree with you there, because like it almost feels like it's building up to something. It's either going to go build up to one of these two people having a revelation. Either it's the sappy bullshit, oh, it's more about than just providing your product, it's about making people happy, or whatever. It's about the heart you put in, or whatever. Or it was going to be Fuka being like, oh, I mean, I guess we are just kind of fucked. But it feels like just nothing really happens. Like, this is the point of this is what makes me so irritated at the show. It feels like something could happen, but it's just not gonna happen. If you get my meaning.
In the other episode, things have happened. In this episode, they set up something that could have a really good moment, and then they just didn't.
Well, it's not over yet. This is a two-parter. Kukuru's going to the new aquarium.
It isn't. It is over. The bitch left.
Knowing this show...
She doesn't work there yet, Meep, and the aquarium's done, like, next year.
It's still under construction, so I don't see how this was going to transfer over. I don't... Like, we got that end credit scene. I have no idea even how I watched that end credits. Was that an end credit scene where she goes up to the...
Yeah, that's after credits, right?
Why the fuck did I watch through the credits?
And we did get the moment of the show being it's not always about the animals, because when Fuka is talking to the kids, and because the other girl earlier was being like, the kids aren't even looking, but the kids know more about fish than the bitch. And we have that moment of them being like, oh, they are looking. And
that's fine and all, but it's anticlimactic. It's like, oh yeah, no, but people do care. They're not just here to hang out. And yeah, that doesn't matter. We got nothing out of the fucking thing they set up between Kukuru and this bitch.
It was literally resolved by a third party in this conflict.
Yeah, not even resolved by a third party. It just ended between them, and nothing fucking came there. Alright, I'm gonna describe my entire fucking point of this, because at first I was like, oh, I like how sassy this bitch is. And then that just turned to, okay, I get it, you're a fucking mean-spirited bitch who will do whatever the fuck she wants to get ahead, but she just kept being shallow over and over and didn't even try to see anything more. And
neither of them fucking tried at all. It was annoying to watch.
Yeah, no, like, I guess that might be, like, a part of her character, that she is so short-sighted. But, like, yeah, I get that she can be short-sighted, but how in the fuck did Kukuru not tell her off when she was just making accusations at her at the end? How did she not respond in any way when she says, oh, you have no idea what it's like to get money, like to have to make money. You're just play working. You're just helping out. You have no fucking motivations here. You don't know what it is to actually strive for anything. She not blowing up and responding is the most anticlimactic feeling I've had in anime for so fucking long.
Okay,
she was trying to keep her cool, like Fuka told her to.
Yeah, okay, and so she couldn't keep her cool whenever she was just being petty and had to be held back from punching the fuck out of her. But when she's actually insulting her in a legit way, she doesn't react. Yeah, fucking bullshit.
Because that night Fuka told her she was having a shitty attitude and she needs to be more mature as the director. It's her character developing.
In a very bad way.
Wait, isn't like... Is it moments after that? Doesn't she fucking spar fight with one of the employees? And, like, fucking head butt them? I doubt there was any character development there.
No, like, no, she...
they just kept it passive-aggressive.
I know she took out her frustrations, but, like, Meep, I get that she had a talk with Fuka. That shouldn't change when she was insulted in a more hard-hitting and close-hitting way.
Oh, and let's not forget...
There's no way with her personality she would be able to keep her fucking cool there.
Okay, and let's not forget... Let's not forget the random Yuri bait that they just drop right in there with no rhyme or reason. They just slip in because they're like, we should have a Yuri bait moment where just like, okay, we're having a nice conversation, and then Fuka immediately derails it by like, let's hold hands in bed. Shut the fuck up. How does this matter to the fucking current plot at hand?
There was a conversation leading up to that.
That took a sudden turn into let's hold hands in bed. Hey, you should calm down. Let's do this intimate thing.
No, it's, hey, you should calm down. They're talking for a bit. Kukuru starts confiding in Fuka, saying, I've always wanted an older sister like you because I found out my parents had a second book, so I might have an older sister somewhere. And Kukuru is she's lonely. That's one of parts of her character. She's a lonely girl. And Fuka recognized that and went, hey, do you want to hold hands when we go to bed? And even Kukuru's like, no, you don't have to do that for me. She's like, but I want to.
Right, but I'm with Limis here in a certain extent. How does, I have a sister somewhere, let's hold hands while we sleep. I don't see the connection, how that connects to having a sister.
And it was literally inserted just like how you said, Makan. It was, I think I might have had a younger sister. Let's hold hands in bed. Like, it just felt so forced and shooed into that conversation. Because this is a point that the writers wanted it to be, so fuck it, let's just ram it right in.
Yeah, you know what would be a more fitting way to try and give her what she wanted if they didn't want to force this to be a Yuri thing and instead just have them be having a sisterly relationship. They could be like, well, if you want, you could call me sister, then if you really want to have a sister. Like, that's a more reasonable way to try and play at what she actually wants, and that is a sister.
The hand thing was fine. There was a build-up to it, and it's understandable. Kukuru is lonely. She's feeling isolated because of everything that's happening. Fuka wants her to confide in her and asks, then do you want to hold hands as we sleep? It's an intimacy thing that, yes, is lost on the West, but in Japan, it's a lot more common for people to be more intimate with each other.
I mean,
yeah, if you're in a romantic relationship, not siblings.
No, friends and siblings in other countries hold hands all the time. It's just the West that are fucking anal about it.
I believe that one of our other episodes of the show downright contradicts that. Like touching, and even ignoring real world and in the world of the show, it is treating touch and stuff like that as intimacy. Yeah, by the very laws anything, of the world that we're investing ourselves into, this is being intimate.
Intimacy doesn't have to be romantic. That's what I'm fucking saying.
This is not what we're arguing, though. What we're arguing is that it's ham-fisted into the the story.
It's not, though. There's a build-up to it.
Meep, what I'm saying here is your argument is flawed because the West is far more open about this than the fucking Japan is. Because Japan is really drawn back about physical contact.
It is not. That is not right.
Meep, how can you argue about this?
Actually, soon you're a couple. It's a lot more common in Japan for friends to hold hands, just walking to the mall or walking down the street. That's a lot more.
No,
it is.
Like another show in our fucking thing here show does, people holding hands is quite a obvious show that they're a couple in Japan. I don't think any culture has you holding hands unless you are literally parent and child, normally, or a couple.
It's like...
First of all, using girlfriend as a real-world example is incredibly weak, because that show brings everything to
Are you Japanese? Meep, are you Japanese? None of us can know because we are not Japanese or have ever gone to Japan.
That's not an argument though. But okay, maybe in any fucking situation when you see someone on the town holding hands, would you imagine that they're either a parent and child, or a couple, or do you imagine something else? And you can say something else, but I think I know what you think. And if you watch any fucking other anime in existence, hand-holding is always a relationship thing between a romantic side instead of a familial one, unless it's literally a child and an adult who are a parental relationship.
And also, yeah, like I said, like, we should be going by whatever the show has stated instead of what we think happens in Japan, because none of us are Japanese. We don't know the social or societal implications of anything. We've been told directly in the show, physical touch is a form of intimacy. These are the rules that we're going by. This is what is set up. This is shown as a form of intimacy.
It doesn't have to be romantic. That's my point. It doesn't have to be romantic.
This is not what I'm fighting, though. I don't know how we got here. I thought that it was sloppily done. This was supposed to be an offhanded thing. This episode has worse problems than this. I just saw it as a split off of it.
Yeah.
Like, on top of that, this episode's pacing felt fucked because I thought this was an hour-long episode instead of 22.
Yeah. I mean, regardless of all that, just... Yeah, no, like, at first, I enjoyed the fucking sassiness between her and Kruger, but, like, that was basically all it was, and it got old real fucking fast.
They have 5 minutes of her learning under Kukuru. Then it's the stuff with the director. Then we get the stuff with Fuka. Then we have the confrontation between the two of them.
And during all of the rest of the 15 minutes that the new bitch is on screen, she is constantly pissy towards Kukuru even when she's not there. And so is Kukuru towards her even when she's not there.
Yes, because the two don't get along. They hate each other. They're not just going to let go of that immediately.
I know they're not, but at least pull it somewhere than just, everything that happens. And this new character wasn't very interesting. She was there for 2 days and be like, "No, I can't learn anything here. Bye."
I deadass thought in a couple episodes she was Fuka. Sorry.
It's not. The plot line with her isn't over yet. There's still another episode. This is a two-parter.
You say that, but nothing has given me the evidence that this is a two-parter that has anything to do with her. It's about Kukuru learning about other aquariums, about visiting other aquariums that has nothing to do with her. Unless she somehow happens to be sent to the aquarium she goes to visit, and shenanigans happen, but there's no real dynamic and, fluid way for her to get reintroduced into whatever this story arc is. She came, she left, and it's just as ignorant as when she came. There was no character development for her.
I mean, I don't think there was supposed to be. Like, she just was to be a force of antagonism that wasn't going to understand.
I mean, sure, but it feels extremely unsatisfying having a character that shows up, is a bitch, clearly misses the point, and doesn't learn anything, or no one challenges her.
I mean, but that's what these kind of shows do. They just want to have this one antagonist type character come in, shake things up, be a bitch to everyone, and then just leave because we need an episode plot.
Then at least fucking challenge her and still have her not learn. Because then you at least made a pushback against her shit. No one fucking did.
There's still another episode on this.
I mean, there's still, fucking 14 more episodes, Meep? Like, that's not an argument. What happened in this episode was unsatisfying.
I disagree. I thought it was incredibly satisfying. I loved seeing the development of Kukuru, who would have thrown that punch, but because of the talk and understanding that she needs to act better, didn't, but still she had to get rid of her frustrations. And I thought it was interesting that her and Kai have the kind of relationship where they can do that with each other. I like how he was like, "Oh, you're doing this again? All right, just punch my hands," and he put up his hands. Like, I liked that dynamic between the two of them.
Sure, that's a good part, but I don't see how a 2-minute conversation and sleeping holding hands with someone is able to change her personality so drastically. She isn't going to blow up and someone insults everything she's fucking worked for in the last year so fucking directly and not respond in any way.
Because throughout the entire show, she's been trying to improve her attitude from episode.
No,
I have not seen that at all.
Yeah, no, she didn't. She has not been trying to improve her attitude. She only tried to improve it after the talk with Fuka, which was directly before this happened.
Not once in this entire show has she ever considered the thought of Gamma Gamma shutting down as anything but a non-threat. Like, this is something that this is something that I will break through. And...
yeah, anyone who mentions Gamma Gamma shutting down, she responds by getting angry and seeing it as a fucking insult instead of accepting the reality that if nothing changes, it is shutting down.
This is why I didn't like Fuka in this episode, I think. That makes sense.
And like, her... like, she hasn't been developing before that part in the episode. She was having to be held back by Fuka, being blocked by Fuka, from literally throwing hands with this fucking girl until that point.
In previous episodes, she blew up at Fuka about the penguins, and she's been, ever since then, her attitude has been slowly improving. She hasn't been as horrible when it comes to work at the aquarium. There was the thing with the pregnancy where she's been more considerate about other people's problems with Umion's back and everything. There's been multiple moments, like the episode with the crab with Karin, where after that she's sort of understanding that the very possibility of Gamma Gamma shutting down is very possible and to not be so heinous to Karin about it. And in this episode, this is a person that she is seeing as taking away the aquarium from her, and she's being incredibly petty, because the other girl was also being a bitch, and they were butting heads. And she had the talk with Fuka, who did say, if you want the aquarium to be saved, you're going to need to have a better attitude and better, like, because her attitude did suck.
And I'm not saying it didn't. And I just think the change was too drastic with too little of the thing changing it. Because I'm not saying what happened before this episode, Meep. I'm just commenting on her attitude at the beginning of this episode and at the end of this episode. How it was a drastic fucking change that seemingly came out of nowhere.
I don't think it was too drastic, because she still got mad and got physical. She just waited for her to go out of the room because she didn't want to make things worse.
Sure, you might not think it was too drastic, and me and Limis clearly fucking think it was.
I just think that it was just... I just hate watching people be fucking passive-aggressive. And that's all this episode was two characters be very passive-aggressive towards each other with no sort of interesting resolution. It's like, if I wanted that, I'd go out in real life. I want to see conflict. Like,
here's the thing. They were both being passive-aggressive, and at the point in time came where Fuka had, Kukru had any logical reason to actually be passive-aggressive back, that's when she lays down and takes it.
It's... like... I don't have that strong feel. I know it's coming off of that, like this, but I don't actually have this strong feelings about this episode in the greater aspect of the series. I just have I just have a very big negative reaction that's all coming out right now because I've been holding into these emotions this entire show. I have went from, this show's fine, it's just not for me, to mid, and I've slowly grown to, I hate this show now.
I think we're ready for cards at this point.
We're ready for cards.
I'll just start off. As much as I've been enjoying this show before now, I can't fuck this show with how much it pissed me off. It made me so goddamn angry, and it didn't alleviate it in any way. It's gonna get the knife.
Alright, so sorry about that. We need to take a quick break after that.
Let's move on to episode 10 of Vanitas. Vanitas and the gang confront Monroe until one of Charlatan's lackeys interferes, and they must take down a curse bear. After saving the curse bear, Roland tells them to escape as he deals with the two curse bearers, and at the end we see Lord Ruthven is in bed with Charlatan.
Alright, so some fucking shit went down today.
Yeah.
Vanitas just, like, the more we learn about his backstory, the more and more shit he's been through.
Traumatized boy.
Traumatized to the fucking nth degree. Holy shit.
And it looks like our worries about him being number 69 was settled. It wasn't for any creepy reason, it's just he who funny number.
It's a quick nod to the fucking anime community degenerates being like, haha, funny sex number, moving swiftly on.
I wasn't expecting Monroe to be in bed with Charlatan, and I certainly wasn't expecting Ruthven to be in bed with Charlatan.
Yeah, I don't know, I didn't really either. I'm not sure I like Ruthven being in bed with Charlatan. I kind of liked him as this powerful and what's the fucking word for that? This powerful force that's outside of it all, kind of against both of them, but I mean, he's certainly a formidable fucking foe to go against.
I think the show gave us just enough with him for me to accept it. We had his introduction, and then the meeting they had. And with the way he reacted at the meeting, he didn't act all too much like a hero. He did hurt everyone else in that room, too. Not just Vanitas.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I forget, John was also just going to get a bit violent because of the accusations he made.
Yeah, but she didn't, like, throw the small boy out a window or anything.
He didn't throw the small boy out the window either.
I know, but he burned everyone in the room heavily.
Yeah, but at the same time, he didn't touch the boy in any way, and he also freaked out, but then again, he's just more of a violent person when push comes to shove.
I mean,
but yes, no, he's certainly not a nice guy. That's for damn sure.
I mean, it was an episode of Vanitas. It was fucking good. What more can you want?
I mean, it was great. It had some fucking good fight scenes and everything.
They were too brief. Like, I totally agree. Like, there needs to be I want a lengthier fight scene, but I understand what the show is. It's not about the fights. It's about it's about the world building of the characters. But what we get, the fleeting ones that we get, yeah. As long as Roland doesn't fucking have his swords connected, he's fine. He looks cool.
I mean, I think the fight scenes are good, and how fast they are fits the whole idea of vampires, because vampires are really fucking strong. Fights probably end pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, I just my shonen brain is going gib fight gib. Because the fights we have, I don't think we've had a fight longer than 2 minutes. And
I mean, if you count the entirety of this fight with both the enhanced humans and the vampire, this fight was around like 12.
About 2 minutes of that was actually dedicated to the fighting. Yeah. Everything else was them jumping into the mouth and Roland twirling around like a ballerina.
Yeah. Though the fight last episode last episode when Noe fought Roland was probably 4 to 5 minutes.
I thought that one was only 2 minutes because it felt really brief.
That's because it's so fucking good it goes by fast.
Oh. Because
that fight was quite lengthy because there was quite a lot of them actually fighting in that room and kind of trying to figure each other out.
I admit I do have a problem with the whole curse bearer thing. Like, Noe took quite a gamble there. Let's just jump into the mouth of this fucker.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's perfectly in character for Noe, though. He's always been the one to take gambles. Like when he took Vanitas hostage, that was a gamble.
True, but it's not let's jump into
That wasn't a gamble, that was just him being really fucking pissed.
I don't know. I felt like that was in character for him.
Oh, it's definitely in character.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't... what's not in character is kind of Vanitas going along with it.
I just thought it would be funny. I just thought it was funny. Like, yeah, they just all went in with it. Just like, the show could have just been like, and they went into the monster and they were digested slowly for 1,000 years.
And then they fucking died.
I actually don't mind Vanitas going along with it, because in that time, he was definitely in a more emotionally vulnerable space, and he has been reckless with his life before. It's nothing new.
Oh yeah, no, the boy has no fucking issues throwing his life on the line, but yeah, it's slightly out of character for me, but it's not too egregious. Yes, I can see him doing it, but I'm like, would he really know?
Also, Vanitas has a younger brother, ? With white hair. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, younger co-adopted brother who's probably dead.
Probably dead, and the original Vanitas probably had something to do with it.
I mean, from the sounds of the conversations they had, our Vanitas killed the old Vanitas, either directly or indirectly.
Yeah. Vanitas is such an interesting character to me.
Oh, he really fucking is.
Oh, yeah.
He's the kind of characters I love making and exploring the mindset of when I play D&D. The kind of characters who's gone through so much fucking shit and just trying to fucking live with that. Yeah, it's a fucking trip to try and figure out how someone's mental state would work in that kind of situation. And I am liking with what these people came up with, how Vanitas' mental state works after everything is gone through.
Yeah, I like when his boisterous personality falters and you just see the, like, what's the word? The cold, like, just uneasy, like, depression hiding in him. Like, whenever he makes that face, and just in this episode was all that. Like, you could tell he just wanted to tear Monroe apart. And I do love how Noe was about to attack Monroe. And, like, Roland was like, thank you, I was about to do that too. Oh, they are alike.
Yeah, they're bros. I do love the fucking the look of the fucking, like, dimension space inside the Curse Bearer, though. How, like, it warps and has all the trippy colors and shit, and you can see all the other victims it's eaten inside.
Yeah, that was cool. I also liked the other paladin we got to see in the Chasseurs, the one that comes to see Roland. He's like, I befriended a vampire, and he's like, you what?
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Oh, you're gonna be the death of all of us.
Yeah, also, like, to harp more on, like, Noah's carelessness, it's just like, when they came out of there, he's like, oh, fuck, that was too much even for me. Oh, that was so fucking close.
Yeah.
Like, as stupid as I think that decision was, and that it made no sense in the world, that scene at the end where it's like, oh yeah, that was retarded, was great.
What the fuck did we do?
Why did we do that?
And then they just start nervously fucking laughing because their brain has no other fucking response.
I did love that. I always love doing, like, that trope in anime where it's like characters like, why the fuck did we do that? Why did we do that? It's like when you get really high or really drunk and it's you wake up and suddenly you're in another country. It's like, why did we come here?
How did I get here? Where are my hands?
Why am I in Poland?
Uh,
Oh, Colin, why is there a horse on the roof? I'm Gareth the Witcher. What?
Well, that took a turn.
this LSD hit different.
I do also want to say I love the voice acting work on Roland's voice actor. When he was telling them to leave the to the vampire that was the curse bearer with him, I just love how him speaking softly sounds. It's just like the perfect tone and the tone, pitch, and cadence that just is audio gold to my ears.
Yeah. Oh, I finally realized something about this show that makes me both excited and worried for the end. This is going to be the type of show that has the final confrontation with the villain where any minor side character is going to show up at the end without fault. Like, Roland's going to be there, Gian, Luca are going to be there, Domi's going to be there. They're all going to be confronting the final villain together. It's like the trope from
I mean, they might be, or they might not be.
It's like the trope from every JRPG out there. And
It's
I both love and hate that trope.
like I can only think of that happening one time, and that being in Bones' other masterpiece, Full Metal Alchemist, where at the Promised Day arc, everyone from like the whole series came together and had a part to play in that fight.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't count on Vanitas to do that though, because Vanitas has only had characters be in an area where it makes sense for them to be. Because like when they went to the vampire realm, I mean, John and the child vampire showed up again, but that's where they fucking live. So
I was expecting Roland to be a long-term antagonist. I was not expecting us to go here where he's becoming part of the cast, and that might show up again later.
yeah, no, I was totally expecting him to be an oppressive neutral force in the entire show. And if I'm perfectly honest, I think I would enjoy that more. But I hope we'll do something good with this, because I'm just saying I think I would enjoy that more. But I still kind of like where they're going with this.
I think when we went to the Chasseurs domain, they definitely could have done a better job as explaining them as a neutral force, because the way they explained the Chasseurs when they were going in, and this is kind of why last episode I was a bit iffy on Roland befriending them, is they explain the Chasseurs as a antagonistic force rather than a neutral force, because there's like, oh, the Chasseurs and the Count might go to war if there's any subtle misstep. Oh, the Chasseurs are going to kill us on sight. Instead of, I feel like they could have done a better job of supplementing them as a neutral force.
Well, I don't think the Chasseurs are a neutral force. I think they are an antagonistic force against vampires because they seem quite. They seem like very religious zealots, which will make them do anything. I mean, Roland, who is decently new and indoctrinated, thought like, all right, well, we'll kill every vampire on sight because none of them can be good. But then when he was, realized differently, he's like, oh, all right. I guess I shouldn't just listen to what the fuck I'm told. Maybe I should, decide some shit for myself.
The hug he gives the two at the end, and it's like the two polar opposite reactions of, oh, I've made a lasting friend, and oh god, get this idiot away from me!
Get your fucking hands off me!
Vanitas does strike me as the character just sit in a corner and be like, I'm surrounded by idiots.
Yeah, no, Vanitas is the kind of guy at like a fucking friendly party where everyone is friends. He's just sitting in a corner with a knife, screeching at anyone that gets close.
I just imagine him going, I need to get back to my not wife.
I need to get back to my man wife, and also Jean.
Oh, Lord. I did like the scene at the end where, like, Vanitas just sit against Noe and be like, I'm exhausted.
It was extremely beautiful.
Yeah.
It
Sounds
was
like the episode.
Yeah, it was brilliantly. It was a shot with brilliant scenes. A lot of good thoughts from Noe trying to figure out who Vanitas really is and how he works, because he still can't figure it out. And the shot of the like canal in Paris with the fucking sun hitting the water with the trees on the side. Mwah! Fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah, like. Also, we know how the boy might have got the scars on his hand. Just the amount of concentration Vanitas had to have when Monroe was like, "I cut you apart so many times, and you never once held it against me." That must have been hard.
Yeah, so like the scars I peeped on like his arm, like in episode 4. I'm like, oh, when is that gonna come up? I guess that's just subtle foreshadowing that the boys had a lot of shit done to him.
I am not sure how to think about Moreau, because a part of me thinks, like, this monster should not be getting as much lighthearted comedy as he should. But on the other hand, a part of me just thinks it's like, this is just a sad man who's just, like, lost in his delusions.
Yeah, it's not lighthearted comedy. The guy's just a lunatic.
He's just so out of touch with reality.
You want to know what he fucking reminds me of? A One Piece villain. Because One Piece does something brilliant. A character can look as silly, act as silly, and be as fucking weird and strange as possible, and then they can be a hero, they can be a villain, they can be a side character. It's because, like, no matter how strange a person is, that doesn't mean they can't be a good or bad person.
Yeah, and I definitely am not the strongest on Moreau. We didn't really get too much of him, although I guess he's going to be a part of our main troupe of bad guys, because we have Charlatan, the two that were with Charlatan, and now Ruthven and Moreau. I think Ruthven is going to be our next long-lasting antagonist, though.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think Moreau's ever going to play a really big part, really. It's going to be more of his creations playing a big part in it, and be more of a driving factor for Vanitas to really step up his game and beat the fuck out of the Charlatan.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if... Yeah.
I definitely believe he's going to show up again. I just don't think it's going to be often, and it's for certain not soon. Anyway, you were saying, Limis, sorry about that.
I don't even remember where I was going, sorry.
Alright.
That's me for the fucking cutting floor. Cut this awkward silence out. Alright, let's move on.
Are we ready for cards?
Yeah, I think I've said all I need to say on this. Yeah, no, I said the thing about the Doctor, how he reminds me of One Piece characters. Murderous psychopaths can also just act like fucking goofy children. It's the concept of like a murderer dressing up like a clown.
Oh no. Clowns?
Clown? Are you down to clown, Reeve? Good, then let's hold up your card.
I'm down to clown with this episode. I'm gonna fuck this episode.
Yeah, we do be clowning. I'm fucking it as well.
I'm gonna kill it. No, I'm gonna fuck it. Like, is it even a question anymore? I'm sure this show's gonna make it to the end. Unless it pulls an It Today in.
Yeah, I mean, just the fucking, like, speed and everything, how glued I was to the screen. At some point, I'm like, God, this has been so good so far, and I still have like 15 minutes left, right? I'll pull up the thing. 16 minutes has passed, huh?
Exactly. It's just so it's so fleeting. That's why I kind of wanted to binge this show, because holy shit, each episode feels like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it passes by so fast because it constantly has you interested in something.
Just such good pacing. Like, good pacing can make fucking 20 minutes feel like 10.
Good pacing is... Like, you can write a brilliantly fucking good story with intriguing narratives and put it along with some good art, fantastic music and everything, but it'll all fall flat if you can't pace it for shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think so far only 2 episodes have made me have that feeling with this show so far, and I think that was the flashback episode and this episode. The other ones they did feel like 20 minutes, but in good ways. I do agree. The pacing is really good in the show.
I'm not saying every episode does it, Meep, and I agree with you. Those two are probably the episodes that did it the hardest.
Yeah, but with that is a trifecta for Vanitas, episode 10. Let's move on to Girlfriend, episode 10. The Poly crew get ready for their vacation, while Milika and Shinzo both find out where they're going. Nagisa decides to put Saki first, and they arrive only to find Milika as Hino is there too. So with the power of blackmail, Nagisa and Milika pretend they came together, so Shino doesn't learn the truth. Naoya tries to get Nagisa back, but is soon trapped by Milika.
Oh my...
joke...
Sorry.
No, you go.
Oh my god, I think Nagisa's gonna... Like, I get the feeling that Nagisa might not be in the polycycle at the end of this.
What makes you say that?
How self-sacrificing she is? I feel like she might end up... Like, they might end up getting confronted by Shino. And she's gonna end up taking the bullet and being like, no, I'll just leave. You two have fun.
It's possible, but I don't think Naoya's gonna accept that, because, I mean, otherwise she wouldn't have pushed that hard. And I for certain know that with how much Saki's come to like her, and, you know, how much she's self-sacrificing for her happiness, I don't think she's willing to let her, you know, throw away her happiness like that either.
Yeah, I personally don't see Nagisa doing that, because she is very self-sacrificing, but it's never been to the point of like, oh, okay, well, I'll just leave if it's going to ruin your reputation. It's always been like, well, no, we can always just do this in secret. And
yeah, and it's always been like, and certainly with this episode, it's not that she's willing to sacrifice everything and be like, I just won't do anything, you can have fun with him. It's just, no, I mean, you were his girlfriend first. You should probably, you know, be the first one to get with him.
Yeah, and as she said, she was taking out two birds with one stone. She didn't want Shino to suspect them, and she has to keep an eye on Milika.
God, I fucking love the shot of him just launching over the fucking fence like a gargoyle. Just, I'm here!
It's so good. I'm naked. I know. I thought you didn't notice. How would you not notice?
It's a fucking onsen, goddammit!
This episode was hilarious. Nagisa's fashion sense was awful. Like, I literally recoiled when I saw her open up the thing in the Hawaii shirt. I had a visceral reaction to that.
And here's the thing, I'm the kind of motherfuckers like, yeah, I'd rock that.
Like, I physically, like, cringed and leaned back, and I was like, huh.
Nah, I did fucking cringe at when Saki came out with the outfit Nagisa picked for. I'm like, no. But here's the thing as well. I don't get why the show is putting up that Nagisa's fashion sense is bad, because her fashion sense otherwise really fucking isn't.
Yeah. I love when Naoya showed up and he was like, is this a joke?
And I just love the fucking Japanese voice of it. Gaga. It's great.
Oh, although, important question. Does no one in this world have anything better to do than fucking stare at these three holding hands?
Yeah, it's really exaggerated. Like, oh no, we're holding hands in public. Everyone is staring. Literally no one isn't staring and commenting. I'm like, 98% of people wouldn't give a shit. Even if you're holding hands with two girls, 98% of people just would not give a fuck.
That was a part of the comedy for me. It's just everyone staring. I was like, who do you people not have anything better to do with your life? No, this is girlfriend. They obviously don't.
Yeah, for me, it just kind of put a hair crease into. I'm like, this is a bit overblown. This is kind of stupid. Literally, everyone is looking at them.
Fucking Nalia standing on the train holding their hands. Just not even sitting, he's standing.
I literally remember just shouting at the screen at that point, just sit down, motherfucker!
This episode got so many laughs out of me. I really loved it.
The beginning, when they're just really fucking overplaying the thing about, oh no, we're holding hands in public, everyone is staring for like 5 minutes, it really fucking annoyed me, but then the rest of the 15 minutes just fucking knocked it out of the park.
I don't think the holding hands thing lasted 5 minutes. I think it lasted 2.
No, it definitely lasted a long time.
See, it's the effect happening to me, or McCon.
I don't know. Maybe it lasted longer. I still loved it because just the fact that it was so exaggerated is what made me laugh. It's like, y'all really have nothing better to do? Fucking, I was laughing throughout this entire episode, and I love like, they got there. This is so expensive. Now, yeah, I don't have any money left. Just, everyone shows that.
Finally, after spending his life savings like 5 times, he finally ran out of money.
Then he gets it, and Milika ambushes them.
It's like, I admit, I was a little pissed off when Milika showed up, but then, also Shino was there, and I was like, oh, everyone's here, alright, cool, where's this gonna go? I'm invested.
Yeah, we're in the final arc. There's only 2 episodes left.
It's the final showdown. Our battlefield of choice is the onsen.
I'll just get naked, just fist fighting in the bathtub at some point.
Okay. I will say, with this choice of location, this show might earn my first knife from it. Ooh. Depending on how they do with the nudity. Because don't forget,
they've already shown it a bit, and you could probably judge from that, because that's probably how far they're willing to go.
I got mixed feelings from this episode. There was many that was done that's just like, it's a onsen. You're gonna see a little bit of butt, whatever. But there were some scenes, like especially with Nalia and whatever her name is, blue hair girl, Milika. Nagisa. I don't know, there's so many girls now. That looked a little too suggestive. I don't know, maybe that's me looking into it. Or maybe it was supposed to be played up for comedy, but it's like, nothing was... Sorry.
I think I know which pose you mean, when he was kind of on top of her, when he was just kind of backing her against the wall. Yeah, that was just played for the fucking joke of how suggestive it is. Like, oh no, what a fucking weird situation you've gotten yourself into.
I wouldn't look that far into it because Nalia is not chaotic ace, but chaotic waiting until both of them are ready.
Chaotic respect whammon.
Yes. He just wanted her to run on the roof with him.
Butt naked. Yeah. So everyone can see.
But yeah, it might earn its first knife from me if it continues on with that, and if it goes more into the nudity and shit. Because don't forget, these are still underage characters, and there's a point where I become uncomfortable with that, and it's right in that line, and if it takes a step over, I am letting knife fly. I don't care how good this show's been, despite the fact that this show's been amazing.
That's fair. I don't think it's gonna be more than just there's a bit of cleavage. That's about it. Maybe some suggestive situations, but more than that, not really.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna full on see shown Nalia getting ridden by Milika or anything. I think the most that's gonna happen next episode is that they're probably both gonna be in the hot tub, and she's just gonna be really close to him, and he's just gonna try and escape. It's probably gonna be the first segment of next episode, is him trying to escape this trap.
Yeah, he's gonna jump over the fence and land to the bathtub where fucking Saki's friend's taking a bath.
Oh god, that would be hilarious.
Just don't make it suggestive to the audience.
I'm making that prediction because I hope it fucking happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just as long as it's not supposed to be suggestive to the audience, I'll be fine.
I mean, considering the fucking butt shots and titty shots, it's supposed to be suggestive in a certain sense, but not more than just, it's a fucking hot spring.
Yeah.
It feels more like it's a hot springs. They're going to be naked and not, look, the butts are on screen.
Yeah, it's not more than every single piece of media with every single fucking character ever sexualizing them in any way.
But I will keep dick butt on my hard drive just in case we need the extra sensor for screenshots.
Yeah, I mean the one we did include where it's just where Nagisa's butt just is completely on screen. We just put dick butt over there. Yeah, I feel like that would Twitch probably wouldn't appreciate that if we didn't.
Twitch has not banned me yet, so I think dick butt did his job.
Twitch is a fan of dick butt.
Dick butt ahoy! This episode, it's not the best episode in my opinion, but it was damn good. I fucking loved it front to back.
It's definitely not good. Most of it was just the travel to the hot springs, and most of that was kind of for me. But it just really hit it out of the park with the fucking when Milika jumped out of the bush, and I'm like, the first thought of my mind, like, how long have you been sitting there?
See, this would be the perfect show to watch high, at least for me, because when I get high, my mind asks in ridiculous, stupid questions like, how did you get here? And just imagines the most innate scenario, like Milika fucking swimming across the ocean.
Do I constantly live in a state of being high then? Because that's just the constant questions my brain asks me.
I mean, that's just how I personally get when I'm high. Like, when I get high, for example, when watching ReZero, we were watching the fight with the white whale, and I'm like, you know, there's so many kingdoms in this world. Where do you think the white whale has all been to? Does it only stay in this kingdom, or does it travel to all of them? And then my thought went to, does the white whale fight other whales?
Considering a fucking sky whale, probably not. Yeah, no, and just Saki's friend showing up and just the entire interaction between that and just the fucking exchange of Naoya just running across the roof and just fucking invading the fucking backyard of the fucking hotel room. I'm like, it's good shit.
I love how comfortable Naoya seems to be with sexuality, because he jumps over. He's doing this all to get the girlfriend he loves, and he's just there like, come on, let's just run across the roof. I'm naked. I know.
My favorite part of it is just how aggressively he ignores Milika, who is just naked in the tub the entire time.
It's like, yeah, I love that scene because I feel like I've seen that in anime before where it's like, oh, the male character's being quirky and pervy, and he's gonna look at the girls in the onsen, but not him. He's not doing it to perv. He's just doing it because he's that fucking devoted.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't care.
There's nothing sexual about that. He had a plan, and I mean, to be fair, it's a good fucking plan, really.
Honestly, I do believe this boy be ace, but he's not sex repulsed. He's just like, I don't really care.
He's certainly something.
I don't think he's ace because he has a private Twitter account where he follows a lot of boob accounts.
I mean, he wanted the threesome. He's just so fucking pure that it's like, well, pure and sticks to his word. And it's like, well, I promised not to, so I won't.
I think he's just incredibly Christian. Despite the fact he's dating 2 women. Ignore that part.
Yeah, like Milika said, like, how are you so fucking proper about some things?
Exactly. That is Naoya to me. Fuck, Naoya might be the best main character for me.
He's pretty fucking good.
He's really good, and it's not like he's super deep, but it's just, he's such a lovable character.
I don't know, because, like, if you would have just, like, I want to give him, like, we'll talk about that at the awards later, but totally on the list, unexpected as hell. I thought like he was going to be basically like any other protagonist of a harem series or a romance, where they're going to be a complete non-factor. Just absolute...
No personality, just there for, hey, this is you. Look at all the pretty girls that like you watcher.
Or, on the other hand, be a complete, utter pile of shit to everyone, and somehow get everyone on your side. I was expecting those two outcomes, but what we got was the complete opposite of that, and just a dude who really wants to make this shit work, despite the fact he's super stupid.
Yeah, he's a very wholesome, stupid boy who tries his best and is, very kind-hearted. You know, the kind of person that a lot of people could fall in love with, because what's not to love about this fucking guy?
Yeah, I want to date him. Well, give him a couple years. It got incredibly quiet.
So...
yeah, I was just laughing at it. Yeah, no, like, if just looking at it from that perspective, like, yeah, why wouldn't these girls, be into him because of everything he fucking does? Like, sure, Saki was someone he pestered into being his girlfriend pretty much their entire life. Nagisa fell in love with his dedication, and he has done so much for Milika, and yeah, no, I can definitely see why that relationship happened. Like, all of the relationships there, it's not like a fucking bad harem anime that's just like, oh, this girl loves the main guy. Why? I don't know. He's a guy.
They're incredibly horny.
Yeah, you can make a logical reasoning for why everyone likes him.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking understandable why everyone likes him, because he's a very likable person, because we all like him.
Uh-huh.
And I think the only one who's not going to like him is probably Saki's friend, because of everything. I think I think eventually it might just be like, I don't like what the fuck you're doing, but like, you're clearly not a bad guy.
It's
You're clearly not a terrible person.
a part of me believes that she's going to come in at the very end and break him up. And I hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case. But I can see it.
With the tone this show takes, I don't think so. I think this show's gonna have a happy ending.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know where this is going yet. She might come in and break them up, and then Milika comes in and snatches the battle royale, fucking stealing him away. We don't know.
Milika Fortnite dances on Saki and Nagisa's grave. See, I'm just wondering if there's ever going to be a point where one of the characters calls Naoya a simp, because I can see it.
I couldn't, because he isn't.
He isn't, but I can imagine someone being like, the fuck? You do everything just for them. You're fucking simp.
Well, yeah, no, but then it'd also be incorrect, because fucking simping, you do things expecting sexual favors in return. He fucking doesn't. Like, he's the opposite. He fucking doesn't expect anything in return.
Fellas, is it gay to simp for your girlfriend?
You're simping for your girlfriend. You're just in a relationship.
I gotta say, though, I feel like that ship has already sailed. If anyone was gonna say it, it was gonna be Milika. She was gonna... But, like, that's gone.
Yeah.
At most, I could see her going, I will make him simp for me.
God, like, considering Milika, she might eventually call him her little pog champ.
God damn it. The reason I have such a visceral reaction against that is because I was watching it. Like, I was up at 2 a.m. trying to fall asleep, and I eventually just like, fuck it, ASMR. And just 10 minutes into the video, I was right about to fall asleep. Then I just hear my little pog champ. Immediately woke me up for another hour. I threw my phone at the wall. Not even kidding. I was that kind of reaction.
What a fucking...
Lord. The show is great.
Show's pretty fucking good. I think we're ready for cards, aren't we? Because I think I said everything I had to say about it.
Yep.
I'm going to start first. As much as I feel like this is the weakest, if not one of the weakest episodes we had so far, it was still fun. It was enjoyable. I'm still gonna fuck it.
Really? You don't think episode 4 is weaker?
No, I quite enjoyed episode 4.
Mm. Well, I'm gonna fuck this episode. I thought this was actually on the stronger spectrum, but it wasn't. It wasn't the strongest. That's still either episode 1 or episode 8 for me. Like, but yeah, I'm gonna fuck this episode.
Guess what? Hey, the show's great. I'm gonna fuck it. And I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. I don't think it's the weakest episode. I still think episode 4 is the weakest. And it had a weak opening, but I think it makes up for it with building up for what we're going to encounter later. Like, I was actually expecting this to just be, because we haven't got this in a while, just a episode about Saki Saki and not Milika, who is the blue-haired girl, Nagisa.
Nagisa.
Yeah.
Nagisa.
I thought it was going to be an episode primarily around those two, because we hadn't got that in a while. I was not expecting us to build up to, oh no, this is the final confrontation.
Fucking that meme of the just fucking US president, this is the final battle.
2. Fight.
I'm excited. I'm gonna fuck it. Like I said, unless it gets a little bit too loose with the TNA and the titillation, then you get the knife. But as of right now, it's great.
I think I've just watched enough anime that really, before you start talking about him, I just kind of glossed over it. I kind of ignored it.
Yeah, it's been so prevalent in other episodes, my brain has just went, yeah, makes sense. It's this show.
It hasn't even been prevalent in all episodes of this. It's just been prevalent in a lot of other anime.
Yeah. I feel like my brain autocorrects it being like, this is made for teenagers after all.
Yeah, it's made for horny teenagers.
Yeah, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just fill the shit out and just enjoy it for what I enjoy it for.
Yeah, but maybe it's just because I've watched so much anime, but I see it, I'm like, oh, another scene like this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just an autocorrecting thing your brain does after a while. And like, all right, this is pandering to someone who is far younger than me. All right, let's just move on.
But still, I don't. But nah, laws, nah.
I mean,
Aren't you the one that always says they're drawings?
Yes, they are, but they also are drawings that make me uncomfortable. So please get them away. So, like, I don't think... What I mean by that is, like, felony, maybe hold back, because people kill people in video games all the time. But I don't want to see it, and I don't like it. But, I mean, felony? Nah. Let's get away from this topic now, please.
Let's keep talking about it for, like, 28 more minutes.
Yeah. Well, that is a trifecta for girlfriend. And with that, Aquatope of White Sand is dead. Shall we move on to the graveyard tour?
Actually, first,
I do
numbers.
Want to
Sorry.
Alright. Yeah, numbers. Gotta find my fucking man list.
I still have Aquatope at a 8.
I bumped it down from a 9 to an 8.
Wow, you killed it, and you thought it was an 8?
I still love the rest of the show, and I still have to say I'm gonna keep watching it. It's a case of Shadow's House kind of stumbling really far in a way that I can't accept fucking, but I still want to see where it goes.
I give it a 5 because, like I said, it did nothing for me, and I didn't like it at all, and it's just not for me, and I thought it was boring. And it felt fucking cathartic to set that to drop. I don't have to watch this show anymore.
I mean, I don't have that much of a visceral reaction to it, and it's been doing good otherwise. It's just I don't like how harshly it shifted, in my opinion. And for me, It might be a two-parter. Meat might be right about that, but from the feeling of it, they wrapped up the entire interaction with this character because she came and she left in a way that's quite, final, and that just leaves it unresolved and is very anticlimactic to me, and I didn't enjoy that.
See, I'm expecting next week for us to see her again, and I'm expecting her to beg, like not beg, but come back to Gama Gama because she got fired. That's what I'm expecting.
I mean,
She
that would be cathartic, but nothing really hints at that happening. That's you're making a bold bold guess and something you're hoping for, and I agree. That would be fucking fantastic. That would be great karmic justice. I just don't see it happening.
Because putting yourself in your employer's shoes, if your worker is being this hard-headed, even though you're telling her, no, it's a good place, just learn. Seeing that they're not putting in the effort, because what I imagine is that they can't get any other aquarium to take her in. And he's like, well, you don't want to learn from Gama Gama. Guess you don't want to be an aquarium attendant. You're gone.
Yeah, no, from the looks of it, she's clearly good at her job, though she is very quick to dismiss. She worked there for 2 days.
Or who knows,
Either
maybe-
way, I'm still gonna keep watching it, and if it keeps doing shit and unresolving it for my taste, I'm gonna drop it. But as it goes right now, I'm still gonna keep watching it. No, Graveyard Tours. Did we watch anything?
I did.
I did.
Big thing of Duke of Death that happened this episode. Duke kind of proposed to Alice. He essentially just said, once I break my curse, we go back to my family, let's get married. And it was this really nice and sweet scene between the two of them, but Alice actually kind of rejected it because she knows that when his curse breaks, the family has a arranged bride for the Duke.
Yeah, that's gonna go through if that ever happens. They're basically already fucking engaged.
Yeah, it appears to be what's the conflict that's going to round out the season is Alice trying to drift away from not trying to drift away, but feeling like she is, because there was a whole scene where she went to go talk to Rob and ask, what she should do and if she's bad for feeling the way she is. I don't know, it was a really sweet episode. I enjoyed it, but the another show I watched that I actually didn't want to talk about, episode 9 of Remake. It was really good. It was entirely in this new future, and it's all about Kyoya realizing how he has set back everyone, because Kase Sagawa, the red-haired girl, is working for a different company, one that is worse than the one she was working for in the regular future. Shino Aki has given up art. Nana, when she found out that Kyoya married Shino Aki, quit music. And he's just... The world is kind of pseudo-crumbling around him as he breaks down into tears in a pile of garbage, realizing that by trying to help everyone, he set them back because they were already talented. They didn't need him to fix everything because they were all talented. And just him sort of realizing that he kind of fucked with Shino Aki in a really bad way when he kept telling her, oh, I that change is good, but don't do that change. We won't be able to finish the game on time. And it just went into how the more she did art, the more she didn't like it, because other people liked it, but she wasn't satisfied with it. And that scared her. And it was just this really heartbreaking episode to watch, because just seeing how, I thought it was a really good analogy for how a director can hurt the creative vision of an artist. I thought it was a really good take on that. I don't know. Episode 9 was really good. I really liked it.
Definitely seems to be going in really interesting directions.
Yeah. There was no episode of Ida 10 this week. There was apparently a mix-up in production. They had to postpone it until Tuesday next week. Well, I guess Tuesday this week, so tomorrow. Let me look down my list. Kaizoka Ojo. Really good episode this week. Can't talk about it without spoiling anything, and I actually don't want to spoil any of it because I think you'd like it if you watched it, Limis. I need to get you to watch it at some point. Than that, I've been continuing to watch Slime, Tokyo Revengers. I don't really have much to say on those this week. What were some of the other ones that died? I think that was all the ones I watched.
Meanwhile, Peach Boy. As much as I hate to say it, we totally made the right call. It would have died eventually. Would you all like me to tell you about the absolute clusterfuck that is the release of this episode of the series?
I mean, sure, but like I'm pretty sure we would have ended up killing it quite swiftly once we realized the clusterfuck of the episode pacing.
So I didn't watch all of it. I just looked at the beginning and end of the episodes that I didn't watch. This is the current order that it's in as of right now. I don't think I've seen the most recent episode though, so that could be at any point in this timeline. But so far, the correct chronological watch order that lines up with the manga is episodes 4, 1, 2, 7, 5, 6, 3, 8, and 9. Someone took a hatchet to this show and severely ruined it.
I mean, the director must have had some serious beef with the creator of the show that they had to slaughter their fucking creative work.
Someone had beef with this, whether it was whatever TV station was showing this, or whether or not the director was doing it, I don't know.
But yeah, whatever fucking bad blood there was, someone deliberately killed this show.
Yeah. The cuts sort of half make sense from certain points of view, at least. Okay, I was watching through this, and we get a good scene with Frau in one of the episodes where basically Frau fucking dies, gets half of their torso blown off of them, and we cut to literal heaven, and an angel walks up to Frau and is just like, "Oh shit, you died again? Okay, sure, I'll do you another favor." And just apparently...
What do you mean again?
Exactly! Apparently they have, died so many times. They have a rapport with one of the angels, and that's great! It's such a cool idea! And yeah, Frau comes back as, this weird demon bunny thing, and eventually that subsides, but, we have... Okay... And that's a great episode, but it's put in such a weird position. So basically how it works is okay, we get to episode 3, we have this whole episode where it's Sally meets back with the Peach Boy, the guy with the katana, and also meets with the leader of the Oni. She's met with a choice. She either joins up with the Peach Boy and swears to eradicate all of the Oni in the world, or teams up with the actual Oni and gets manipulated into thinking that she's gonna make peace with the Oni and humans, but is actually just gonna try to kill all humans. And this is a big turning point. This is where she's supposed to, make this big choice. Next episode, we have a backstory episode where we get what it was supposed to be our first episode. Then right after that, it opens up with our main 4 characters walking out of a town talking about vampires.
Huh?
Exactly! Because episode 4 is not the only episode where we go back in time. The episode after episode 4 is also back in time. And you
can't just come up with a big, decision in the fucking story and then go sure you can go to the backstory to show their mindset, but then you can't just go to another fucking story in the past again.
And the worst thing about it is that there's 2 episodes in this in what I'm assuming is the second town that they go to, when what we thought was our second town was actually our third town. We get 2 episodes of the one set in the second town, and then we go back to the first town that gets destroyed after those 2 episodes, and get, like, you know, right after Hawthorne's, like, looking out to the crater that has become his town. And at that point, I just dropped it, because I was like, fuck this. This sucks. Like,
goddamn.
We're just scattered so far. And apparently the episode where we see Hawthorne gets his village destroyed starts another plot line that ends on a cliffhanger before going back to the point where Sally has to make her big decision. It is such a mess.
What the fuck?
Who the fuck hates Peaches this much?
It is such a goddamn mess. Like, the only other show I can think of that got released like this was, infamously, Firefly got released in a machete order like this. But the thing is, Firefly was an episodic series, so it didn't fucking matter. So it still got its, like, time in the sun. This is a story that's supposed to be taught in chronological order with, like, cliffhangers at the end of episodes that just lead right into brand new plot lines. It's so just fucked. It's so fucked. And what hurts is that this seems like a decent show. It doesn't seem half bad of a story.
I want to grab the director by the throat and squeeze the answers out of him or her. Why the fuck they did this?
I want to talk to a member of the staff so bad to ask what the fuck happened. What happened to this show?
Who thought this was a good idea?
It's so upsetting, because, like I said, it seems like it was probably going to die no matter what. It was probably either going to die because it was out of order, or even if it was in order, I'm pretty sure you guys wouldn't be happy with the fact that Hawthorne has a non-reaction to his village getting destroyed.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't play with me.
But what pisses me off is that it didn't even get the chance to impress us. It just got butchered out the gate.
So after you told me about this, Limis, I did look. There is an interview with the director, and he supposedly did this so they could avoid a anime-only ending. And I'm just sitting here going, how the fuck does this avoid an anime-only ending?
How the fuck does this do it?
This dude's smoking really good crack if he thinks that this is gonna actually fill enough time for that.
This motherfucker went into a public bath stall where a bunch of tweakers was fucking smoking meth and shooting up heroin, just killed them, dumped all their fucking shit in a urinal, then crushed up the urinal cake and snorted that.
It's insane. Like, holy shit. Like, have any of you watched fucking Matt McMuscle's series What Happened?
I have not.
It's a great show that, like, goes into the background of, like, video games that had disastrous launches and were released terribly, and, like, goes in and investigates the background of that. We need that for anime to figure out what the fuck happened with Beach
God,
Boy.
I hope someone makes that for this shit.
It's insane.
We could do that, you know.
Oh God.
I mean, we could if we could gather enough information about that and, like, get in touch with someone who's been fucking working on this.
That shit's so tight-knit, I
how,
doubt it would work.
How did it go this bad?
I want to know, too. Like, it's crazy.
And you were reading the manga as well to get some context, right?
I read the first volume just to get a feel for what the actual beginning was supposed to be.
Did Hawthorne, like, have a reaction to his fucking village being destroyed?
Like I said, I only read the first volume.
Okay, where does the first volume cut off then?
It cuts off at the end of episode 4, which, you know, is supposed to be the first episode. So
it's just the first episode, really, in the first volume?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
In the first chapter, I think. I mean.
Oh, right. You read the first chapter, not the first volume.
No, I haven't. But there is one thing: the weird tentacle hentai scenes, completely added.
Yeah, no, you said that before, and, like, fucking why?
Oh,
I think I need to go to the manga and fucking figure that out, because like I need to know if Hawthorne has a reaction to that and has like a drastic change in personality after that happens in the manga, because why wouldn't he? And if it's just an anime thing, then I can just buy the anime being a horrible fucking adaptation and the director just being a fucking idiot. But if it's just a manga, then I think the problem is also just a two-part thing of the manga also being poorly, made.
do you want to explain how they explain the tentacle scenes, Limis?
Right, they also explain it. They quote-unquote explain it. Basically, it's trauma from her past, where the king set up this sort of weird petting zoo for her, and she went to the squid, and this tiny squid that's not like as big as your head somehow manages to grab her in the way that like a fucking hentai tentacle monster would grab her. So now she has PTSD because of that. It's like explained in a 5-minute episode. No, not like 5 minutes. It was more like 2 minutes. That comes right in the middle of, guess what? The scene where Frau dies! The important part of the show!
But it doesn't happen in the manga, so it's not explaining it. It's just we added some trauma for her because we wanted to have tentacle rape in the show.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is in the manga. I didn't read that far, but it wasn't in the first volume that I saw. Despite the fact that they added a tentacle scene into the first what was supposed to be the first volume. God, it's so hard to talk about this show because it's so butchered.
My brain hurts.
Someone took this show. Imagine the show being a mirror. Someone took it, threw it on the ground, shattered it, then rearranged it in the wrong way. Like,
alright. Fuck.
I feel bad for the mangaka. Like, legit.
I feel terrible. That's like I'm gonna like at least read like 10 chapters and figure out if it's just as fucked in the manga, but like if it isn't, then like how in the fuck could anyone mess up this bad?
It's
like it might not be as egregiously bad as like fucking Koikimo, but Koikimo at least tried to make a good show. They're making a consistent effort to just make the worst shit possible with a decent source material.
And yeah, it's not that bad. Like it got a 7.19 on Mal. When you look down into the review section, there's a lot of 8s and 9s. Like there's obviously a fan base for this story.
I mean, I get why, because the first 2 episodes, like when I watched them without really thinking about them, like I had fun. The art is good. Like the characters are interesting. The animations are cool, and the fight scenes are extravagant. But like nothing makes sense.
It's like if you wanted to make it more episodic and put it out of order like that, at least wrap up the stories that you started.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this is just on the manga side of things. It is a lot worse on the anime. Everyone's trashing the anime because of how much it got butchered.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Alright.
Did you watch anything else, Limis?
Did I watch anything else? I finished Hellsing, and holy shit, that show is fucking incredible.
I need to finish Hellsing and Hellsing Ultimate, and then watch Hellsing, the rest of Hellsing Ultimate abridged, because both of the series are fucking great.
Hell yeah, it's fantastic. Like, yeah, there's not much more I could say about that unless I would just end up gushing about the ending of that show and how fucking good the villain is. Holy shit, the Major's such a little bastard. I love him, but I hate him, and I'm so glad that he's dead, but I'm also not glad that he dies. Fuck! Because, like, okay, there's nothing more powerful than a villain that literally, no matter what the heroes do, he gets his way. God, I hate him so much, but he's so brilliantly written.
Wow, it's good you think that's a good story writing. I might have written a villain like that recently.
It's just like, oh, if we let down our arms and don't kill you guys, we'll take over London. And if we do fight back and kill you, well, we want to die anyway. Fuck you, but god damn it, that's so cool.
Yeah, I haven't watched anything this week that I could deem anime, but I'm gonna make it because it's an effort to try and watch something this week so we can talk about it on next Graveyard Tour. It isn't strictly anime. It isn't strictly an anime movie or anything, but it kinda is, because I'm gonna watch the story version of Guilty Gear Strive, which is, from what I've heard, essentially a 4-hour anime movie.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a commitment.
Right, they just made a story mode that was just a 4-hour anime movie. Like, there's not even any fights in it or anything.
Yeah, there's not even fights. It's just a story. And I'm gonna watch that, or at least try and find the time to watch that and give you my opinions on it.
Okay, actually, I think I have one more thing I can kind of consider to be anime. And it's gonna take some explaining, so hold the fuck on. One of my favorite bands just released a new album. Iron Maiden just released their album Senjutsu, and one of their songs has a really fucking badass animated music video to it. That's really good. It's called The Writing on the Wall, and like hell, if you just like good, doesn't even matter if you like metal or anything. If you like good animation, it's really good. It's this cool apocalypse story.
Sure, I'll give that a try then. Also, in a similar genre of rock and animation, then I can give you a recommendation of a Swedish band that I've been following since I was a kid because it's one of the first ones I was introduced to, and I really like their music. Free Kitchen, and became friends with a ex-animator for Disney, who made an animation for one of their later tracks. I'm your freak of the week. If you just search up that up on YouTube, you'll probably find the animation. It's really fucking good.
Freak Kitchen?
Free Kitchen, I'm your freak of the week. Or, yeah, something like that. I don't quite remember the title. But it's just a fucking... It's kind of what you'd expect from a rock / metal music video, but animated in, like, the style of Disney.
Sick.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
Hell yeah. Good to hear that it's good.
It's a few years old now, but, you know, it still holds up.
It's not quite anime, but I've been playing Disco Elysium. I have no fucking clue what to do in that game. I'm just bumbling around at this point, trying to find cigarettes to smoke.
I mean, yeah, let me say that. Now we're not even on anime, so I think it's probably time to end the show, and then we can talk about this afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I believe that's an episode. We've made it past the 1 hour mark. I mean, for this recording anyway.
We made it way past with the, like, having to cut it into 2 parts. We talked a long time about 3 shows, huh?
We had a lot to say about these shows, like, yeah. Aquatope is fucking dead. I don't know how to feel about this. I'm empty now. I have no nemesis.
I feel conflicted about it. The episode really pissed me off, but it's a shame because I was enjoying the rest of the show.
See, that's why I vote. That's why I vote based on, do I still want to watch this?
I do as well to a certain extent, but God, this episode made me angry.
I'm gonna get flack for this, but I thought this was the best episode of Aquatope so far.
I could not disagree more.
But hey, it's over now. It can't hurt us anymore.
Well, yes, it can, because I'm going to hit you with that in the Graveyard Tour every week.
I know, but we don't have to hurt ourselves with it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, joke's on you. I'm going to bring a slideshow every time. Play it while I'm talking.
Yeah, and it's not going to show up because you're not the one streaming.
Try to hijack my computer. I dare you. I doubt you will even know where I keep OBS on my computer.
It's in this homework folder, isn't it? Oh god!
The next stream, we're in the middle of Vanitas, you just start hearing pounding at your door.
Let me in! Let me in!
So that's why I hear air coming into your mic. Okay.
Lord. I am sorry for getting so frustrated earlier too, by the way.
I got a bit heated as well. What? We should end the episode.
Fucking heated conversation gets you heated. This is how it is.
Would you believe me if I said that's not the most heated I've gotten in this show so far?
Nah, I believe that was probably on me being very angry about Vivi.
Okay, we should probably end the episode soon. So, alright.
Nah, let's get even more angry. Come on.
We need to get angry for the views. What? Someone say something inflammatory so I can get a good thumbnail going.
Koikimo is the best romance anime to ever happen.
And there we go. Now we need to go find Meep and kill him.
Alright, let's end there. Good night, everybody.
Good night. You can find us at, the places
Find us at the places on screen.
It'll be fine. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Find the fucking VOD soon at Limis, not Limis, channel 646 on YouTube. Bye.